Peace to everybody tonight. How are you? Come on now. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, I have the awesome privilege of announcing the award to the Southern Poverty Law Center. And hey, hands up for them, for sure. And I want to tell you that the Southern Poverty Law Center are some very, very effective and useful folks. I was recently, against all advice from staff and friends, on Fox News and was being interviewed or maybe even yelled at by Sean Hannity. And his question to me was, okay, so Ellison, I heard that you said that the people who were calling the Islamic Center in Lower Manhattan, who were calling it a Ground Zero mosque, it was not at Ground Zero, nor was it a mosque. I heard you said that they were all birthers and bigots. I thought to myself, is there really any doubt about this question? I was surprised that the people, I thought that he would be he'd be happy about that designation, not offended. Anyway, I immediately thought, well, according to the Southern Poverty Law Center, Stop the Islamization of America website, and the people who put that website on have been designated as a hate group on the moral equivalent of the Ku Klux Klan. So for you to ask me whether I call these people birthers and bigots, well, you can look on their website and tell whether they're birthers. They are. And I'll leave the designation of hate group up to people who want to judge. The bottom line is, it is very important in the world that we live in that we are able to identify those elements within our society who have decided that there are some classes of persons who are beneath the contempt of the rest of us, and therefore feel free to heap scorn. Groups like the neo-Nazis, the Ku Klux Klan, Stop the Islamization of America. America needs the Southern Poverty Law Center to tell us who these people really are, because they will represent themselves as just good civic servants trying to engage in American life, when that's not really who they are. But the Southern Poverty Law Center, that was just the latest occasion where they gave valuable information that was effective and helpful. They also issue a quarterly intelligence report, which I urge you to read. They also teach tolerance in our schools program so that Americans can see each other's basic and essential humanity and not just labels and things like that. And they also, as I just said, are actively tracking hate groups across America, which I think is a noble and important public service. But let me just say this, the first time I ever heard of the Southern Poverty Law Center was when a young black man was lynched in 1980 for no other reason than he was a black person by some people who decided that they wanted to just kill a black person to teach the black community its proper place. The Southern Poverty Law Center decided that the prosecution of these people was not good enough, and they sued the United Klans of America in order to punish them civilly and take away their assets so that they would not have a basis to go forward. They used the theory of agency, that the United Klans had actually given these lynchers the go-ahead and the green light, and those lynchers operated on behalf of the United Klans. The United Klans lost their headquarters because of the effective advocacy of the Southern Poverty Law Center. And so it is a great honor to the Southern Poverty Law Center that the Arab American Institute, a revered institution in its own right, wouldn't you say? would recognize the Southern Poverty Law Center, one great American institution saluting another great American institution. On behalf of the Southern Poverty Law Center, a young lady who I've gotten to know, is she coming up now? On behalf of the Southern Poverty Law Center, please view this important video.
The Southern Poverty Law Center was founded to ensure that the promises of the civil rights movement become a reality for all. By the late 1960s, the victories of the movement had ushered in the promise of racial equality. But the new laws had not brought the fundamental changes needed in the South. There were few places for the disenfranchised and poor to turn for justice. Alabama lawyer and businessman Morris Dees sympathized with their plight. He joined forces with another young lawyer in Montgomery, Alabama, Joe Levin. Together, they took pro bono cases few others were willing to pursue. That decision led to the founding of the Southern Poverty Law Center. Their early lawsuits had far-reaching effects. They desegregated recreational facilities, reapportioned the Alabama legislature, integrated the state troopers, and reformed the state prison system. In the early 1980s, the SPLC pioneered the strategy of using the courts to battle violent hate groups. By winning multi-million-dollar verdicts on behalf of the victims of hate group violence, the SPLC has shut down some of the nation's most dangerous hate groups. These cases are funded entirely by SPLC supporters, and the organization doesn't accept legal fees from its clients. By fighting hate and extremism, the SPLC has become a leading expert on extremist activity, monitoring hundreds of hate groups in the United States, including anti-Muslim groups. Rarely has the United States seen a more reckless campaign to vilify a distinct class of people and compromise their fundamental civil and human rights than the rhetoric against Muslims. But its mission extends beyond the world of violent hate groups. It has represented vulnerable children and fought to reform juvenile justice practices that derail young lives. It has served as a champion for exploited immigrant workers, holding abusive employers accountable. It has shattered barriers to equality for women and defended the rights of the LGBT community. It has also reached out to the next generation with Teaching Tolerance, a program that provides educators with free classroom materials that teach students the value of diversity. The program has become one of the nation's leading providers of anti-bias resources, even winning 2 Academy Awards for its documentary films. As the country has grown increasingly diverse, the SPLC's work has become even more vital. It continues the march for justice started by the civil rights martyrs whose names are etched in the Civil Rights Memorial at its office. And SPLC remains committed to defending the rights of those who have no other champions. As Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. has said, until justice rolls down like waters and righteousness like a mighty stream.
Accepting the 2012 Arab American Institute Award for Institutional Excellence, I give you Miss Alicia Brooks.
Good evening. Good evening. Thank you. First, I just want to thank Congressman Ellison. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Congressman. It's a special honor and treat to be presented this award from you tonight. Congressman Ellison has been in Montgomery, Alabama a couple of times. Thank you. Your courageous, and I underscore that word, courageous leadership, and your persistent courage that you exhibit in fighting injustice, not just in Minnesota, but across the country, in service of the country. I just thank you, so thank you. We, of course, want to thank the Arab American Institute for this honor. We're humbled, truly humbled and honored that you would recognize our work. More important, we're grateful to you and what you do every day, because the work of the Southern Poverty Law Center would not be possible just on our own. So I want to thank the AAI, the staff, the Board of Directors, and your Board of Governors. Thank you for what you're doing. Thank you to each of you that came out tonight in support of the Institute, because what you're doing makes a difference as well. The Southern Poverty Law Center, as you learned, was founded in 1971, and we've done some incredible, incredible work. On behalf of our founders, Morris Dees, Joe Levin, our president, Richard Cohen, our staff of 200 people, our board of directors, one of which is here with us tonight, I want you to know that we will continue to stand with you in your fight against injustice. We'll continue to stand with you to call out Islamophobia wherever we may see it. We'll continue to expose and marginalize groups and individuals that would demean and devile you or the Islamic religion. I want you to also know that through our Teaching Tolerance program, we'll continue to do what we can to educate teachers so that they can pass along this information to young people to learn to value and appreciate diversity. As you work to improve Arab-American relations, know that the Southern Poverty Law Center will continue to do that as well. So thank you for what you do, and thank you for honoring our work.